Hi, this is Jared with ColDesi, and today we're going to print on a pillowcase. Now, pillowcases, a lot of people like them for keepsakes. Most of the time, people probably aren't going to be using these to sleep on unless they're trying to do an all-over print. We can do an all-over print, but it takes a little bit more setup. So we're just going to do just a pretty good sized design. So what I'm using is our oversized platen. And one little trick that we do is we actually have double-sided tape. We are using carpet tape in this particular case, but we'll put double-sided tape all the way around to kind of help hold this down, because it's almost big enough to tuck in, but not quite. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put this on, kind of center it. And like anything else, really what we're trying to do is we're trying to get our area, work area, as flat as possible. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just center this where I feel it's pretty good. Now again, if this is something that you do often, you can have these already pre-staged. You can have an additional platen with one already loaded, so you don't have to do it on the printer itself. But really that's it. So once again, we're just going to send it in, and we're going to raise the bed all the way and let it go, and it'll drop to the correct height, and then we'll go ahead and hit the load button. So in our artwork, basically all I've done is I've brought the artwork into the overall size of the platen I'm using, and then I like to process it first just so I know what my cost is. So I will go ahead and choose rip only or spool up here, and once it's processed, it will actually tell you right here how much it costs. In this case, this is 6 cents. So it's very inexpensive to print this, but now that we know that we're already in place, we can go ahead and hit print. It's going to release the job. Okay, a couple things to also note about printing something like this is, one, obviously just being very large, you just want to be careful the way you handle it, because you don't want it to smear if it folds over on itself. So I'll just go ahead and go all the way around it and make sure all ends are released before I try to pull it up. The other thing is, in this particular case, what I've done is I've made the design slightly less than 20 inches. And the reason why I did that is because my heat press is 16 by 20. So if I make it larger than that, I have to heat press it in 2 stages, which is fine, but you just have to be very careful. So the less handling you do, the better. But as you can see, we've got a really nice print, very large size. And the last point I'd like to make is when you're centering designs on pillowcases, you kind of have to off-center it slightly so that you feel, or so that when you visually, it's more centered over across the entire pillowcase. But again, this is Jared Hill with ColDesi. Once again, I appreciate the time you spent and look forward to seeing you in the next video.